Vlogmas is Vlogmas is Vlogmas is Vlogmas is Vlogmas. This is my first time ever participating and I'm excited. Can y'all see? Like, look, I got a Christmas tree for y'all. I don't even do this. I don't even decorate for Christmas. I got a Christmas tree. I got a Santa hat. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all see the shirt? Hollywood. Your client hair needs to be clean. If their hair is not clean, whatever oil they have on there is going to reject the product. It's going to prevent the product from working at its best. You need a good blow dryer. It's something about the blow dryer and good product combo. But no, welcome back to my channel, and thank y'all for tuning into my Vlogmas. This is my first episode. This is my day one Vlogmas. I don't care if it's December 5th. This is Hollywood's day one Vlogmas, and we locked in. So for those who are not familiar with what a Vlogmas is a time frame around Christmas time that YouTubers basically, they vlog for 25 days. They vlog from the 1st of December all the way to Christmas. Like me on the other hand, baby, I'm not doing that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I honestly don't see a point, but it's definitely a challenge, and I heard it's a good way to engage with your audience. So I said, let me take advantage of this and try this out. I'm not gonna do the 25 days. We're gonna do this the Hollywood way. And I just decided to do 2 days a week. And I feel like that's cool. That's better than what I would do on the average. So 2 times a week I will drop for my Vlogmas, and then that's gonna be 8 videos in a month. Like, that's hard. And then hopefully, you know, when the years, the 2025, 2026, I might tap into the 25-day Vlogmas. On Hollywood's Vlogmas day 1, I will be dropping 9 products that I must have in order to have a boneless braid style. I don't care if that's knotless, I don't care if that's stitch braids, but these, if I'm on a house call, bro, I have to have these or something gonna be off. You feel me? I'm low-key OCD, so it's like I literally need to have this. As soon as something is off, I'm like, bro, this style is not gonna eat like how it's supposed to eat. Before I get to that, let me read to y'all a list of stuff I will be dropping for my Vlogmas. My Vlogmas, y'all, I'm having a Vlogmas. Freak. I'm gonna read to y'all what my ideas was, and then I'm gonna read to y'all what ChatGPT talking about. It's like crazy, the same thing. So first and foremost, my first one I can drop is must-haves. Okay, must-haves as a braider to have a boneless, knotless braid, a boneless stitch braid. That's number 1. Then I'm like, okay, furthermore, if y'all want to do a product haul, because let's talk about these products. Decorating the shop, holiday giveaway ideas. That'd be fun to me. I didn't did holiday giveaway ideas. Candle hauls. It's December 5th. I believe Bath and Body Works is having their annual candle sale this weekend. So I want to do a candle haul with y'all. I want to do, if y'all want me to do a clothes haul, like a get ready with me haul, because I'm into dressing. So we can do the clothes haul. 2024 winter shoes UGG haul. I ain't gonna cap. I want to do that. Like, just like, since it's back cold, what's in, what's not. I want to do like the type of, the style of Uggs and the different winter shoes that's going this year, 2024. I think that one gonna be fun. That's my stuff. Between that, the clothes haul, the candle haul, that's for sure like stuff I want to do. The product haul, I know I want to do that. A day in the life. Now that's a pretty cool list. Like I said, I only need 8. So let me tell y'all what ChatGPT did. I said I'm a braider in Atlanta looking to grow my YouTube channel. I need help with ideas or topics for Vlogmas. Let me tell y'all what ChatGPT told me. Like, bro, y'all need to get on this. That's exciting. Vlogmas is a great way to engage with your audience and showcase your personality and skills. Here are some Vlogmas ideas that combine the festive spirit with your expertise as a braider. Number 1, holiday hairstyles for parties. I just said that. 2, 12 days of braid tutorials. 3, client transformation vlogs. 4, braiding product costs, holiday giveaway, behind the scenes vlog, a day in the life as a braider, holiday themed braid styles for kids, braiders holiday story time, seasonal question and answer, and a braid challenge. Create a braid challenge for my audience. Ain't that crazy? Like, let's get into this video for us. 9 things, y'all. 9 things, 9 products, 9 combs, 9 scrunchies, 9 whatever that you must have to get that boneless look. Because if you missing one, the rest of the style's messed up. I literally feel like if one is not there, it's over with. Don't let me forget a blow dryer. Don't let me forget my mousse. Don't let me forget them wrap strips. Don't let me forget my sprigs. Don't let me forget, bro. Don't let me forget. Okay, first and foremost, number one, before we even get started, your client hair needs to be clean. I'm talking about no oils, no leave-in conditioner, no heat protectant, no none of that. Like your client hair needs to be stripped clean, because what happens is if their hair is not clean, whatever oil they have on there is going to reject the product. It's going to prevent the product from working at its best. So me personally, I include my shampoos with my services, my men services, because I know the men, y'all know the men, they might mess around, use Selsun Blue. They might mess around, use Head and Shoulders. So it's just like, I don't trust them to wash their hair, shampoo their hair. So when it comes to women, I feel like we've been dealing with hair all our lives. I trust y'all more to come with your hair stripped of products. But like I said, if you ever then sat there and worked over somebody's work, or just had a client already come washed and shampooed prior, and you feel like the style's not eating, it's probably because they either have heat protectant on their hair before they blow dry, or they might they on their health journey and just feel like they need to leave conditioner. No, you need to go and wash that out. We're gonna go to the sink. We're gonna wash that out, because you're not gonna be walking around with my braids in your hair looking crazy. No, we're not gonna do that. So what I like to do is just make sure I clean my client's hair with the appropriate shampoo and conditioner. Product number two, item number two, a blow dryer. You need a good blow dryer. It's something about the blow dryer and good product combo. You think you got a good product and you ain't got no complete blowout? It's not gonna eat. It's not gonna be boneless. It's not gonna fall off the bone. You need that combo. You need a good ass blowout, and you need some bomb ass product. And I'm telling you, clean hair, oh my god, boneless. So after we get through stripping all the oils out, cleaning them, it's time to blow that hair out. Y'all have to invest in yourselves. Stop them $20 blow dryers. They're cool, but for your braids to be boneless, you need to spend at least 30, 40 plus. Like, invest in a blow dryer. Like Silverbird, H2 Pro, invest in it. Because what happens if you don't properly blow your client's hair out, it's just not gonna be as clean. You feel me? You need a real good blow dryer, especially if your client has like real coarse hair. You need it to be straightened. So if you feel like your hair is just not eating, it's most likely because you are using a blow dryer whose heat temperature is not high enough to straighten their hair. You don't want it too straight, but like I said, just a good blowout for real. But as far as the Silverbird and H2O Pro, I believe you gotta go to like professional salon or beauty supplies like Sally's or something, or your local distributor might have them on hand. My last blow dryer I had, I was gifted from my last shop owner, so I haven't paid for a blow dryer in forever. I honestly don't have too much knowledge on a blow dryer, but invest in that blow dryer. Item number three, combs. Okay, so it's mandatory that I have two types of combs when I'm working on a client. I need a wide tooth comb. That's for when I'm shampooing. Well, not when I'm shampooing, but after I shampoo and I condition, I do the detangle. You need a wide tooth comb. You need to detangle your hair with the conditioner in, so it's just smoother for you. The wide tooth comb is a must, bro. I can't see myself detangling. I mean, I could use a paddle brush, but I'm still not comfortable with a paddle brush. I just like wide tooth combs. And I hate that I don't have any of the items to show y'all. I might try to add them in. For styling, when it's time to style, you need a rat tooth comb, not your ordinary at the counter dollar rat tooth comb. Okay, so they're called GOM combs, y'all. But basically, so they're a rat tooth comb, and not okay. So the metal end is sharp, because a lot of the metal ends that y'all might not pay attention to, they're very dull or thick. I like mine's like skinny, like pointy. Like if I got to, I might file it. Like that's gonna help me part. And then the other end of the comb, the first tooth on that comb that's separated, I like the combs that personally got the, I like the combs that got the gap, and then the rest of the teeth, and then the one at the top. That needs to be sharp. Like I said, my personal favorite is the GOM, whatever. A comb with a pointy tip. And if you gotta file that with a nail filer, that's cool too. If I don't have that, I feel like my parts is just not gonna eat. It's not. Next on my list is clips and scrunchies. So also before I get started, I got my comb checked. Boom, check shampoo, good blowout. I need scrunchies and clips. Now me, I personally, the way I braid, my hair comes into where I'm braiding. Like hair from the outside situation. Y'all, is so hard. I hate talking about braiding because it's just like, ew, like you just gotta know to know. I just gotta get comfortable. I'm not gonna say I hate it, but I have to get comfortable with the terms. Okay, so for my braiders that know, say if I'm working on a stitch braid and you know you got the outside hair in a scrunchie or just out the way, I see a lot of braiders. I commend y'all. Y'all do not use clips to like keep it out the way. Me, my hands be everywhere. My shit look like gang signs not braiding, you know what I mean? So I be needing clips and stuff. I need both banana clips, the plastic banana clips, and I need the short metal clips. Clips and scrunchies, I need that. Because when I'm getting active, I need all hair strands to be out the way. Because I'm coming. And I'm not playing. Hollywood is getting active. Item number 5, braiding gels. Now let's get into the braiding gels. Hold on. Okay, so another must-have for me to feel confident and just be prepared, I like to have at least 2 to 3 different braid gels on hand. So the reason in that is everybody's hair texture is not the same. Everybody's hair doesn't require the same amount of thickness, consistency, like, you know, things like that. Because what happens is usually the thicker texture or the coarser texture hair needs thicker products, and then the hair textures that's on the thinner side, they don't need as thick of a product with a thick hold that's gonna, you know, do too much, because it makes the manipulation worse. Like you can't manipulate the hair because the product is so thick, the strands are just stuck. So, and then not only that, it actually will cause a lot of breakage, like severe breakage. So if you notice like you have a thinner hair texture, a finer hair texture, and when you get braids your hair is just breaking off, like it's usually that product that's used, because y'all don't need the thick, y'all don't need locking gel, y'all don't need braid gel, y'all don't need all that extra stuff, you feel me? Y'all need some light shiny gel. Okay, I'm like over exaggerating, but like you don't need as thick of a product for your hair. So I like to keep 2 to 3 different braiding gels depending on what the client is going to come to my chair with, you know. So I feel secure with that. I like one with a thicker consistency, and then I like one on a lighter consistency. I like the thicker to mold, and I like the light to help braid down. Like if I'm doing knotless, I like a lighter product to help me slide through the braid. Once I'm stitch braiding, I like a thicker product to keep the stitch, hold the stitch, mold the stitch. Item number 6, mousse. So after we done styling and stuff, you're gonna go over usually the stitch or both styles, stitch braids or knotless braids. This is like the finishing touch. Like I need my mousse to be here because it just completes the style. It gives it the shine, it molds it, you feel me? So the mousse is a must-have. Shine and mold. Shine and mold. And then after the mousse, you're gonna come over that. You're gonna spray. You're gonna spray that spritz, or you're gonna spray that got to be. That's my 2 options that I use for holding spray. So after I mousse for the shine, I spray over it with spritz or got to be spray. And once again, that's like a combo. You need a mousse and holding spray combo, period. After you do that combo, you're gonna need the wrap strip. Me personally, this is my way. I don't know if I've said it, like don't judge me. This is my way of creating my styles. Okay, so after I do the mousse and the spritz, you're gonna go over with the wrap strips. Now I use black wrap strips, the thicker kinds, and what that do is it's like a temporary do-rag, I guess you can say, temporary wave cap. And what you do is just put it on, sit them under the dryer, and I sit them under the dryer for like 10 minutes, 10, 15, depending on what the style is. The mousse, I forgot to tell you, the mousse spritz combo for knotless braids, I typically don't put them under the dryer. I just do mousse, spritz, and I blow dry. I dry it dry. And that's also for shine and hold. And last but not least, item number 9, scalp oil. So after my clients are dry, I like to finish their hair off with scalp oil. Mine personally, I put wild growth because, like, you know, most likely they're gonna leave and not oil their scalp. So it's like, let me go ahead and do this for you real quick. Also, the wild growth for me just gives it extra shine after the dryer and stuff, just like a complete shiny look instead of that matte look. Some people like the matte dry look. I personally don't care for the matte dry look. And so, like I said, I usually do that to promote hair growth and prevent dryness. A lot of my clients have dry scalp, so that helps with that. And yes, that concludes my 9 products, my 9 items, my 9 must-haves. My 9 must-haves for boneless stitch braids, boneless knotless braids. Okay, wasn't that so informational, y'all? I just had fun. Like, I hope I covered everything. If y'all have any questions, like, feel free to comment, reach out to me. I'm feeling jolly this season, so I'm really just willing to help you. I want to help you help me. So I believe I covered everything. What's up? What I'm missing? I really hate that I didn't have each product here, but like I said, I'm going to try to add, pictures so y'all can have an idea of what I'm talking about. Hopefully the people that's watching this video are upcoming braiders, like I was telling y'all. So if not upcoming already, you know, y'all are braiders, y'all in the industry, y'all know how this works. So yeah, I'm kind of sad it's over with, but y'all stay tuned for my second Vlogmas. I haven't decided what it's going to be about, but it's gonna be fun. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, share, do all of that. And thank you. I'll see y'all next time.